Welcome to the Pro Tech channel, your ultimate guide to the tech world. In today's video, we're about to embark on an exciting journey through the magic of Flutter app development. Aspiring developers, tech enthusiasts, or anyone with a knack for learning something new, this is for you. Whether you're a seasoned developer or a beginner stepping into the world of app development, this video is designed to cater to all skill levels. We'll guide you step by step through the process of creating your own applications using Flutter, a revolutionary toolkit by Google. By the end of this tutorial, you'll have a solid foundation on how to use Flutter and the power to create applications that run seamlessly across multiple platforms. So grab your cup of coffee, sit back, and let's dive into the world of Flutter. Stay tuned as we delve into an introduction to Flutter in the next scene. Flutter Magic, your guide to app development. Welcome. Today we're about to venture into an exciting realm of application development, a realm where creativity, efficiency, performance coexist. As we turn the pages of this virtual guidebook, we invite you to immerse yourself in the world of Flutter, a remarkable toolkit that is changing the rules of app development. Have you ever wondered how to develop applications using Flutter? Flutter, a user interface toolkit by Google, is your answer. This remarkable toolkit is designed to build natively compiled applications for mobile, web, and desktop platforms, all from a single codebase. Imagine the convenience and efficiency of writing one application that runs seamlessly across multiple platforms. But what makes Flutter truly shine are its unique features. Flutter allows for fast development to its stateful hot reload. You can make changes to your code and see the results in real time without losing your current application state. Flutter also boasts an expressive and flexible user interface, gives you full control over every pixel on the screen, and includes a rich set of widgets. And let's not forget about its native performance. Applications built with Flutter compile to native code, ensuring your apps run smoothly. By the end of this tutorial, you will have a strong understanding of how to create your own applications using Flutter. To start developing applications using Flutter, you first need to set up your development environment. Now, setting up your development environment might sound like a daunting task, but don't worry, it's actually quite straightforward. There are a few essential tools you'll need to get started. Let's walk through these together. Firstly, you'll need the Flutter Software Development Kit, or SDK. This is a collection of tools that Flutter provides to help you develop your applications. It includes the Dart programming language, which is what you'll be using to write your Flutter apps. You can download the Flutter SDK from the official Flutter website. Once you've downloaded it, you'll need to add it to your system path. This allows your system to recognize Flutter commands from any terminal window. Next up is the code editor. This is where you'll write your code. Two popular choices are Visual Studio Code and Android Studio. Both are great options, but for beginners, Visual Studio Code might be a little more user-friendly. Whichever you choose, you'll need to install the Flutter and Dart plugins. These plugins provide helpful features like code completion and syntax highlighting that will make your coding experience much smoother. Now, once you've got your Flutter SDK and code editor set up, you'll need a way to test your applications. This is where emulators and physical devices come in. If you have an Android or iOS device, you can connect it to your computer and run your apps directly on it. If not, you can use an emulator. An emulator is a virtual device that runs on your computer. Android Studio comes with a built-in emulator, but you can also download others. So, there you have it. You've set up your Flutter SDK, chosen your code editor, and decided on whether you'll use an emulator or a physical device for testing. It might seem like a lot, but remember, once it's done, it's done. You've laid the groundwork to start developing your Flutter applications. With the development environment set up, you are now ready to start creating your first Flutter application. Before diving into the coding part, it's crucial to understand Flutter's architecture. Flutter's architecture is a thing of beauty, and it's the engine that makes Flutter so powerful and flexible. At the heart of it all is the Dart programming language. Dart is a client-optimized language for fast applications on any platform. It's what we use to write our Flutter applications, and it's been designed to be easy to learn and fun to use. Now, if you're finding this information helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We appreciate your support. Moving on, we have the Flutter engine. This is the core of Flutter and is written in C++. It's responsible for most of the heavy lifting. It provides low-level rendering support using Google's Skia graphics library, and it interfaces with platform-specific SDKs. Moving up a level, we have the Foundation library. This is a Dart package that provides basic classes and functions which are used to construct applications using Flutter. It's like the building blocks that Flutter uses to put everything together. Now, what makes Flutter truly unique are the widgets. Widgets in Flutter are like the individual pieces of Lego that you can put together to build your app. They describe what their view should look like given their current configuration and state. Widgets are incredibly flexible and can be reused across your application, making your code cleaner and easier to maintain. But how do all these components interact to create a Flutter application? Well, when you write your app in Dart, the Flutter engine takes your code and compiles it to native machine code. It then uses the foundation library and widgets to construct your application, rendering it on the screen using the Skia graphics library. In this way, each component of Flutter's architecture plays a crucial role in creating a seamless and efficient development experience. From the flexibility of Dart to the power of the Flutter engine, the simplicity of the foundation library, and the reusability of widgets. Each part of Flutter's architecture is designed to make your life as a developer easier. Understanding the architecture of Flutter will make your coding process smoother and more efficient. Now that you are familiar with Flutter's architecture, it's time to create a new Flutter project. Creating a new Flutter project is like setting up the blueprint for your application. It's the initial step where all your app's components will be defined and organized. So let's dive right in. First, we need to open up our command line or terminal. We'll type in Flutter create, followed by the name of our project. Let's call it my_first_Flutter_project. Hit enter and watch as Flutter whirs into action, setting up a new project for you. Once that's done, navigate to the new directory that's been created. You'll see a bunch of files and folders, but don't be intimidated. They're all part of the project structure that Flutter sets up automatically. The lib folder is where the magic happens. This is where you'll write most of your Dart code. Inside it, you'll find a file named main.dart. This is the entry point of your Flutter app. It's where your app starts running. The main.dart file comes with some pre-written code. This code is a simple Hello World app. It's a great starting point to understand how a basic Flutter app is structured. So take a moment to explore, to understand the layout of the land in this new project. It's a playground for your ideas, waiting for you to bring them to life. Congratulations! You've just created your first Flutter project. With a new Flutter project ready, it's time to build a simple application. In the realm of Flutter, everything revolves around widgets. Widgets are the building blocks of your app's user interface. You can think of them as the individual pieces that come together to create the overall look and feel of your application. Creating a layout in Flutter is all about combining widgets. You have widgets for rows, columns, text, images, icons, and much more. Each widget nests inside and inherits properties from its parent. Let's start with a basic layout. Imagine you're building a simple greeting application. You'd want a text widget to display the greeting, right? So we create a new text widget, and you pass in the string you want to display like, "Hello World." But how about adding some style to it? Well, Flutter has got you covered. You can wrap your text widget with a center widget to center the greeting on the screen. For more control over styling, you might wrap your text widget with a container widget, which allows you to add padding, margins, borders, and more. Now let's talk about adding interactivity. Flutter makes it easy to create interactive elements. For instance, you might want to change the text when the user taps a button. To achieve this, you can use a stateful widget, which can remember state changes. Let's add a raised button widget that, when tapped, changes our greeting from "Hello World" to "Welcome to Flutter." To do this, we'd wrap our text widget with a stateful widget, and then update the text when the button is pressed. Finally, once you've built your application, it's time to test it. Flutter provides a powerful toolset for testing your apps. You can test your application on an emulator, or on your physical device. To launch your app, you just need to run a single command in your terminal. Once your application is running, you can interact with it just as you would with a real app. You can press the button and watch as the greeting changes. And if anything doesn't look or work as expected, you can go back to your code, make the necessary adjustments, and test again. Building an application with Flutter is like assembling a puzzle. Each widget has its place, and together, they create a complete picture. It's a fun and rewarding process, and with practice, you'll be able to build complex applications with ease. And there you have it, your first application built using Flutter. You've come a long way in your Flutter development journey. We started off by understanding the basics of Flutter, a powerful and flexible framework for building natively compiled applications. We then navigated through the process of setting up the development environment, an essential step to ensure smooth sailing throughout our coding journey. Next, we dove into Flutter's architecture, understanding the importance of widgets as the building blocks of a Flutter application. This was followed by the exciting part of creating a new Flutter project, where we got our hands dirty with some real coding. Finally, we constructed a simple Flutter application, putting all the concepts we learned into practice. This hands-on experience is a stepping stone to building more complex applications in the future. With the knowledge you've gained today, you're well on your way to becoming a proficient Flutter developer. Keep practicing and happy coding. And don't forget, we'd love to hear your thoughts on this journey. Drop a comment about your experiences and insights. Thanks for diving into the ProTech universe. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for all things tech and programming. Stay tuned, stay ProTech.